You're also forecasting a Q1 contraction across the Eurozone. When do we start to see the recovery then? Because we ain't probably going to be getting much inflation if we've still got negative growth, right?
Well, we are going to see inflation, and a lot of that is due to base effects. You know, the oil price is just one example of that. There's also some kind of interesting things that only economists worry about, such as weightings in the CPI basket that have changed that will push CPI up. I think, though, when it comes to the recovery, clearly what's happening with the pandemic and key to this is the restrictions that are in place across the Eurozone. Once we start to see some progress there, then we can have a bit more confidence that the recovery will start to kick in. Now, you know, a lot of that will be dependent on vaccine rollouts, but myself, I'm not that pessimistic that we can't start to see some progress on easing of restrictions in the Eurozone as we go through the second quarter. So I'm actually expecting that the second quarter of this year, we get quite a positive bounce.
Right. Will it be a bit of a patchwork recovery, and where do you think the laggards will be when you look at the Eurozone? Will it be on the periphery or will it be elsewhere?
I think, yeah, every recovery is going to be a patchwork recovery. You know, no country is the same. I suspect that what we're likely to see is that the northern European countries will stage a slightly quicker recovery. And part of the reason for that is that, you know, countries such as Germany, the very large exporters, are a bit more geared into the global economic cycle. Okay, and you know, we've had the stimulus bill in the US announced. That should be a positive for the global economy, as highlighted by the OECD. The news flow coming out of Asia, China isn't as weak as what we're seeing in Europe. So those countries that are geared into that global economic recovery are likely to perform a little bit better at the start, but then we should start to see a catch up from the rest of the Eurozone.
We've got the euro sitting in the 119 handle as we speak. What does that mean when it comes to the recovery? Anything would it be better if it was lower?
I think, you know, the 119, the euro is still a cheap currency on most measures of fair value. My expectation is actually that we see the euro a little bit stronger as we go through that recovery phase. You know, investors will get a little bit more comfortable and willing to diversify out of the US dollar and into the euro. In my mind, I think, you know, there's still a lot of headroom before the euro becomes the strength of the euro becomes a problem for the ECB. You know, we've been higher than these levels before, and I know we had some communication from the ECB at the start of the year expressing some concern. But, you know, when all is said and done, the euro in the 120 to 125 range doesn't present a problem to recovery.